guess who's back in action? In true Surya style, let's review Raja. Well, it wouldn't be an action movie, guys, if I didn't end up with a black eye, right? But don't worry, I super Singam slapped him so hard, you won't be seeing him again. So let's jump into the cast here. Before we get into anything, I want to tell you it's the original cast from Singam 1, which was pretty cool. They even had Vivek, and he's been missing in action for a while. So now, let's jump into Surya's performance. One of the best cops in the Tamil cinema industry. We've got Surya, who had a solid performance in this movie. He really held it all together. The movie really focused around him, so you're going to see some high impact action scenes. Action really did dominate the movie for the most part. He was emotional when he needed to be emotional. He played a very good, serious character. I think you'll like Surya in this one. He's bringing back Singam 1 style, and he picked it up a notch. So now for the female roles. We've got Hansika and we've got Anushka. It was a bit of a minor situation. They weren't there a lot, and when they were there, their presence was really only felt in the dance scenes. They put in the love triangle to keep you interested in the secondary half of the plot. I think it was alright, but it wasn't really needed as much as they had it. So when it comes to the bad guys, we've got Danny Sapani and we've got Mokesh. Now, these guys weren't the greatest bad guys in my opinion. Unfortunately, I always end up comparing the bad guys to Ajith and Billa too, and because I do that, my standards are quite high. I thought it was a lot of overacting. Danny Sapani, he's always doing this angry face. I have to give you a point of advice here. The more calm you act as a gangster, the more believable it is, and I thought you put a little too much emphasis into your facial expressions. Just saying. So the story by Hari was just alright for me. Really what it boiled down to was you've got the government officials, they're getting dealt in this underground crime scene, drugs, guns, you name it, it's all in there. Then you've got the action-packed hero in Surya coming to save the day, finding the bad guys and putting an end to it all. That's all I'm going to say. It's a little bit summed up, but that's all you need to hear. What did I think of the story and cast, guys? Only because Surya was a solid cop, I'm going to give the cast and story a 7 out of 10. So what do I have to say about Hari's direction? I thought that there was strong moments and there was weak moments. The strong moments really came into specific one-on-one scenes with Surya and the bad guys. The direction there was quite well done, very believable. But then you have this action-packed sequences that just didn't make sense for me. Why didn't it make sense? Because Surya was doing the same thing over and over and over again. Very unrealistic. The stunts were just not there for me. The car scenes, everything about that aspect of the movie was a bit of a downfall for me. So, what am I going to give you, Hari? I'm going to give you a 7 out of 10. For all you cinematographer buffs out there, Priyan brought it home for this one. And you know, in the end, this movie was just shot alright. There was nothing super crazy that you're going to see about the camera angles and whatnot. In fact, Priyan, I thought that you could have done a bit better job in the fight scenes. Some of the angles were a bit drawn out. They didn't quite capture it the way I wanted to see it to make it more realistic. So that's all I really have to say about the cinematography. The subjects were lit well, so I'll give you that. There could have been some improvements in the aerial views, but for the most part it was just alright. So I'm gonna give you a 6.5 out of 10. Music. You always hear me talking about you, Vaughn, and some of the top players in the music for Tamil cinema, but we've got Devi Sri Prasad bringing us the music for this movie. Did I like it? Not so much. I thought it was quite weak, actually. There was only one song in particular that I liked when they were all dancing outside in unison, but the club scenes, you'll know what I'm talking about. A bit corny at times. So now I'm going to rate you. I'm not going to dive into it too much. I'll let you draw your own conclusions on it, but I'm going to have to give you a 6 out of 10. So my crew was away for the past week, which is why I'm a bit late on this review, and I heard all of you were loving this movie. There was a lot of buzz around it, so I finally got to see it, and I'm finally going to give you my final rating for the movie. But I have to say, Really, Surya was the best part of this movie for me. The rest was just mediocre, so don't expect anything too great. That's just me speaking once again. So my final score is a 6.62 out of 10. And remember, guys, this one's Review Raja certified.
Action. No.
Back at it. Oh. About to do the review. I know about it went. Review Raja here. I know I've been away from a little guy. Obviously the guy's jacked up. He's got nothing on me, but that's besides the fact.